The Ultra, in conversation with Stef, the altar nerd. Hello, I'm HG Tudor, continuing my series of conversations with those individuals who are fellow YouTubers, asking them questions about why they do what they do, how they go about the work that they create, what drove them to set up a channel to talk about the things that they talk about, and to generally converse about areas of mutual interest. You have been enjoying a variety of different guests that I have spoken to. In order to make it quite clear, where somebody asks me the questions, you'll find that in the Ultra interview section. There's over 90 interviews where people ask me various things, and those go back a number of years. So if you haven't accessed those already, I'd encourage you to do so to enable you to be entertained and learn more about your glorious narrator. Where I'm asking the questions, that falls into the conversation series, and therefore that's why it's involved people such as the Duchess of Narcissus, the Sidley twins, Avid Gardener, and now Stef, the altar nerd. As always, thank you for your continuing suggestions as to who I might have a conversation with, and in particular to those of you that have dug out contact details of those relevant individuals. There are some YouTubers, for whatever reason, don't make it that easy for them to be contacted through formal means. And naturally, I don't want to be going off-piste, if you will, to get people's contact details. Don't want to be putting the willies up them before I've spoken to them. Accordingly, if you have the relevant contact details for somebody that you'd like to nominate, then so much the better. It increases the chances of me considering that they're worthwhile speaking to. Keep the suggestions coming. I know many of you have suggested people that are interested in This One's Wife and people who are part of the Megxit community. I know that I've had a few suggestions of pro-Sussex individuals that I might speak to, although it's interesting that there haven't been too many names that have been advanced in that regard. Perhaps you don't think they're worth talking to, or maybe you just don't know about them, as you don't venture over to the dark side with regard to the provision of the information. And, of course, there are people who are nothing to do with This One's Wife, who are the subject of the conversation also. Some interesting guests coming up in relation to other topics. So it doesn't just have to be about This One's Wife. It can, and I'd encourage you to suggest other people that you would think would make a good fit with regard to having a conversation with me. But this time it's Stef the altar nerd, and as ever, it's time to whet your appetite in anticipation of another stimulating conversation. So what have you got to look forward to? Well, have some of this.
The children.
Yep.
That's definite one. But that's because there's so much mystery behind them. We've not seen them much. We don't know much about them. So that kind of mystery fosters even more curiosity. So whenever there's a video about them, that's that. Day I would do a video on the Sussex squad and, you know, what they have done to bully and cyber harass other people. And then at the weekend, I would do a live stream showing all their threats of harm and death threats and completely. I just feel extremely strong about the way that they are dealing not only with the royal family, but with the British public as well. I can't stand it, and I won't. Is those titles is a source of power for Hazza and Megxi.
Yeah.
And they're able to use it to reestablish their link officially to the royal family, which gives them power monetarily, but also socially as well within Hollywood.
plenty more besides for you to get your teeth into, so make sure that you're available to watch this entertaining conversation between me, HG Tudor, and Stef, the altar nerd. Now, the important information. When will this be taking place? Make room in your busy lives, or get out of your bed and make sure that you're available if you're not that busy. It's going to take place on Sunday, the 28th of July at 4 p.m. UK time, 5 p.m. Central European time, 11 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, and 8 a.m. Pacific time in the United States. A weekend fixture of entertaining badinage, sparkling wit and repartee, so make sure you're available for it. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.